I stopped buying canned beans after I learned this. If you're new here, I'm Maddie and I'm here to help you with your healthy vegan meal prep. And today I'm gonna show you a cheaper and healthier option than canned beans. And at the end, I will even show you exactly how much money you can save with this method. I'm also gonna show you how to cook them and store them in the freezer so you can have ready to eat beans at any time, just the same as you would with canned. First, let me quickly show you how to cook beans on the stovetop. No matter what kind of bean you're cooking, they're all gonna cook in the same way. The only difference is gonna be cook time. The most important first step here is actually to soak your beans. You're going to need to soak them for around 8 or 12 hours, so it's usually just best to do it overnight. And all we're going to do is measure out your beans and then fill the bowl with around 3 to 4 times that amount of water. Now, if you don't have time to soak your beans overnight, I totally get it. Sometimes you need beans faster than that. And there is a quick soaking option. All you need to do is to bring your beans up to a boil. And once they're boiling, turn the stove off and let the beans sit for about an hour. So once your beans have soaked overnight or you've done a quick soak, we're just going to drain and rinse the beans. Then add them to a cooking pot, add 3 times the amount of fresh water, and I always like to add a small piece of kombu. Kombu is basically just dried seaweed. I've broken this one into smaller pieces as I add a small piece into each batch of beans that I cook. And this is just gonna help improve the digestion of beans and help reduce gas. If you want more info about why I use this, I'll link it down below. And then we're just gonna bring this up to a boil and then let it simmer on the stovetop for around 2 hours. Now, each bean is going to have a different cook time, like I mentioned. So whichever bean you're cooking, whether it be black beans, chickpeas, kidney beans, etc., you're going to want to Google that exact bean so you know the precise cook time. Now, once your beans have finished cooking and they are soft, you will have ready to eat beans and you will also have some cooking liquid left over. Now, you can actually save this. This is called Aquafaba, which basically just means bean water. And this is the same liquid that is in a can of beans when you buy canned beans. And there are actually a lot of cool recipes and ways to use Aquafaba. I'll be making a whole nother video about it, so make sure you stay tuned for that. And there you have it. Now your cooked beans are ready to go, ready to use in any recipe. Now for my favorite and preferred cooking method. If you followed my channel for a while, you know I love my Instant Pot. It is my favorite tool in the kitchen because it just makes cooking so much easier, faster, and hands off. With the Instant Pot, you don't need to do any kind of pre-soak. All you need to do is to measure and rinse your beans. Add 3 times the amount of fresh water, add a small piece of kombu if you wish, set the timer, and walk away. So when the timer goes off, your beans are finished cooking, they are ready to eat. All we're going to do is to let some of that pressure come down naturally. We will wait about 15 to 20 minutes, or if you're in a hurry, you can do a quick release by turning the nozzle to let the steam out. And once the pin has dropped, the Instant Pot is safe to open and you can enjoy your beans. Now again, you can save this cooking liquid here, the Aquafaba, if you want. You can even store your beans in the Aquafaba, or you can just drain it off and rinse your beans. It is totally up to you. So let's go ahead and cook 2 more different kinds of beans. First up, we are gonna cook chickpeas. Now, as some of you know, I'm originally from California. I grew up eating Mexican food, and I also grew up eating pretty healthy. I was eating beans regularly because my mom made us, and I didn't even know how good they are for me. Beans are super packed with healthy nutrients such as fiber, protein, iron, magnesium, potassium, and folate. Beans can also aid in weight loss because they are high in fiber and low in calories, and they make you feel full and satiated. They're also filled with antioxidants and other phytochemicals, which have been shown to reduce the risks of cancer. Another benefit of cooking beans from scratch is that you can control how soft you cook your beans and also what flavors or spices you cook into them. So for example, when I make hummus, I like a really soft chickpea. So I cook my chickpeas a little bit longer if I know I'm going to be using them for hummus. And then if I want to jazz up my beans and add a little more flavor, I can cook them with some onion or garlic or any kind of spices, and that'll just make them even more delicious. Now that our chickpeas have finished cooking, we are going to cook the last bean of the day, which is going to be lentils. And actually, lentils are not technically beans. I know it's a whole legume semantics thing, but all you need to remember is that if you're cooking lentils on the stovetop, you do not need to soak them first. So I'm still gonna cook mine in the Instant Pot because it will be a little bit faster, but if you don't have an Instant Pot, you might find that you prefer to cook lentils over other kinds of beans because then you don't need to soak them. So as you can see, the Instant Pot makes it so much easier to cook beans at home. That is why I love it. But even if you don't have an Instant Pot, you can still cook beans on the stovetop fairly easily. That is how I used to do it before I had an Instant Pot. And either way you cook them, it is still gonna be a bit healthier and definitely less expensive than buying canned beans. Let's go ahead and do the full cost analysis. A bag of lentils at my local No Frills is $6 and weighs 1.8 kgs. This bag will make approximately 15 cans worth of store-bought lentils at 40 cents per can. One can at the store costs $1.50. Therefore, buying a bag of lentils in bulk saved me $16.50. For the chickpeas, I bought a large bag at Costco for $7 and it weighs 3.6 kgs. This bag will make approximately 30 cans of store-bought chickpeas at 23 cents each. Whereas one can of chickpeas at the store costs $1.50. Therefore, buying this bag at Costco saved me $38. And lastly, I bought this huge bag of black beans at Costco for $20 and it is 10 kgs. So this bag will make approximately 96 cans worth of store-bought black beans at 21 cents each. While at the store, one can of black beans costs $1.50. Therefore, this bag saved me $124. Now, it can also be said that cooking beans from scratch is a little bit healthier because you won't have any added salt or any other added ingredients for that matter, unless of course you add them. And your beans won't be stored in aluminum if that's something that bothers you. Now, I know it is more convenient to have a can of beans sitting on the shelf ready to use, but now that we have all these beans batch cooked, let me show you how to have exactly the same thing just in your freezer. So we're gonna portion all of these beans out into Tupperware in the same quantities that you would find in a can from the store, which is about 1.5 cups. Now, the most important thing to remember when you're freezing beans is just to leave some space at the top because beans and all liquids will expand in the freezer and you do not want your container to crack. So we're just going to pop all of these into the freezer, and then all you need to do when you need a can of beans is to take out one of these Tupperwares and let it defrost for a couple hours on the counter or overnight in the fridge. I know saving money on groceries is top of mind for a lot of us these days. If that sounds like you, you've got to check out this video here. I made a whole breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snack all for less than $5 for the day. You're gonna love it.